guys. Welcome to Avoid TV live stream, guys. I know it's been a while since I came on live here, so whenever you come in, please share the live video, click the thumbs up, and then subscribe if you haven't done so already. All right, guys. Thank you so much for coming in today. So the Greek Isle Lottery registration, as we all know it, is going to be ending pretty soon, like tomorrow. When I say tomorrow, based on where I am at. Okay, today is November 7th. So the last day for the Greek Isle Lottery registration is going to be November 8th at UTC minus 5. UTC minus 5. So if you are in, GMT 0, then you'll be 5 hours ahead of, so it's going to be 12 noon in New York. The time is going to be 12 noon in New York. So if you are at GMT 0, that means that it's going to be 5 p.m. in your time. If it's +3 UTC in your country, then it's going to be 8 hours, right? Because in New York, the time will be UTC minus 5. So you have to, bring the 5 to 0, and then you add your 3. So it's going to be 8. All right. Please make sure that you don't wait till the last minute. Don't wait till the last minute to submit your application. And I hope that many of you have been able to submit your registration at the moment, and you're not waiting till the last day, the last hour to put in your registration. Now let me go over the things that you need in order to apply for the lottery, so that I can give you like a rundown and overview. Right. So what you need to apply for the Greek Isle Lottery will be just your passport photo, and this is just a standard American passport photo size, which will be 2 inches by 2 inches. That will be 600 pixels by 600 pixels if it's in a digital copy. All right, you have to make sure if your photo is in a hard copy like the one that you're holding, then you need to scan it and get a digital copy. All right, and when you scan your photo, please look at the photo and make sure that the photo quality is good. There's no overexposure, underexposure. There are no shadows. There's no obstructions on your face. No uniforms. No eyeglasses. Just take your photo, okay? The other thing is that if you are married, make sure that you include your spouse on the application. If you are not married, then you don't have a spouse to include. That is okay. It is not compulsory to have a spouse on the application if you don't have a spouse. But if you're married, then definitely you must indicate your spouse on the application, whether they want to immigrate to America or not. If you have children, then you must indicate your children who are eligible. Eligible children are children who are not married and under the age of 21. They are not married and under the age of 21. The moment your child is married, then they are no longer children. The moment your child is married, then they're no longer a child. And when they are 21, then they are no longer a child for immigration purposes. So if you try to put in their date of birth, the date of birth of your child, and the system flags it, is because the system is calculating the age. So the time that you're submitting your application, and then they're calculating the age to see if the age is over 21. If it's over 21, it will not let you go through. Guys, if you encounter that problem, don't change the years. Don't change the date of birth to make it fit. Because if you try this, you could jeopardize your own registration. You could end up getting refused because you are being dishonest. If your child is ineligible, don't force yourself and make them eligible for this lottery purposes, all right? It's not worth it. If you don't have children, you don't need to include anybody's child. Remember that there are some instances where if somebody there are some instances where some people went for interview and they were required to do DNA test. So don't include anybody's child that is not your own. Don't include anybody's child that is not your stepchild. Don't include anybody's child that is not your adopted child. These are the only type of children you can include on your application. Your adopted children, your stepchildren, and then your own biological children, irrespective of the relationship between you and their other parents, right? So if you are a single mother, you can apply for the lottery as an unmarried woman if you have never been married before. And then include your children, okay? You will not need to include your father because you are not married to them. But, and then the same goes for a single father. If you are a man, you have a child with somebody, you never married the person, and you have never been married, you apply and then you include the child or the children on your application. You can do so, and then the mother can also do so, all right? Don't think that because you, the father, you submitted the application and included the children, the mother cannot include the children on the application. You can both do the same thing, all right? The same goes for married couples. If you are a married couple and you both meet the minimum requirement, which is secondary school certificate, and then or a qualified work experience. A qualified work experience is a work experience from a job that has SVP of 7, SVP rating of 7 or higher. Okay, so if your spouse also qualifies, you can apply. You can apply and attach your spouse under your application. You can, and then attach your children under your application if you have. Okay, if you don't have children, you don't need to worry about children. And then your spouse can also do their application and then attach you under, as long as both of you qualify. All right. So now, what about the people who come from countries that don't qualify? So if you come from a country that is not eligible for the DV lottery, like people from Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, Haiti, Jamaica, Canada, let me see, Korea, North Korea, if you are from any of these countries, Brazil, there are several countries that are not eligible. Then if you have a spouse from an eligible country, then you can borrow eligibility from your spouse home country. Okay, so if your country doesn't qualify, but you are married to somebody from a country that qualifies, then you can fill your application normally, but on question number 6, you will change the question, the answer from yes to no, and then you select the country that your spouse comes from. Make sure that it is an existing relationship. An existing relationship, meaning your spouse must be alive. The relationship that you're using to claim eligibility must still be in existence. Okay, it's not your ex-wife. You cannot use your ex-wife to for eligibility. You cannot use your deceased wife or deceased husband to their home country to meet the eligibility. Let the relationship be in existence. Okay. Now, after we have determined all of this, then you, of course, get your passport photo. Like I said, it's 2 inches by 2 inches. Then you go online. You go to dvprogram.state.gov. dvprogram.state.gov. You go to that website with any internet-powered device. So that means that you can use your phone. If you can use your phone to get on the internet, then you can use your phone to fill the registration. If you can get internet on your computer, you can do that. If you can get internet on your desktop, you can do that. If you can get internet on your tablet, you can do that. It doesn't matter which device that you use. As long as you can use this device to access the website or get on the internet, you should be able to use that to fill this registration. Guys, when you fill the registration, mostly it's just self-explanatory. There are things that can disqualify you: having the wrong photo, giving the wrong marital status, and then failure to list your children on the application, failure to list or including listing a child that is not yours, and then also, more importantly, when you don't meet the eligibility requirement, which is if you don't have secondary school education or you don't have the work experience to qualify. These things can disqualify you. Other than that, misspelling your country of birth or your place of birth, um, not arranging your name in the in the correct way, will not disqualify you. Oh, and another important thing, selecting the wrong country of birth can get you disqualified. So be very careful. Don't go and select a country that is not your country of birth. And then in the other thing is that your eligibility. If you don't have any claim to another country, don't choose another country as your eligibility if you don't have any legal claim. You don't have that nationality, or you are not married to somebody, you have no legitimate claim to that country, then don't select another country as your eligibility or your place of birth. These are things that can really disqualify you. But listen, selecting the wrong level of education, typing your address the wrong way, these things cannot disqualify you. Okay, I've mentioned the things that could disqualify you, so pay attention. And actually, when you're filling this registration, please pay attention. Make sure that you are doing things properly. You're paying attention to what you're typing, because some mistakes can be very costly to you. So make sure that you are paying attention and you're doing things properly. Before you submit, it will allow you to review what you have typed so far. You must go through to make sure that everything is fine before you click submit. If something is not correct, you can click to go to the right page and then update that information. Please refrain from using the back arrow on your browser, the back arrow and forward arrow on your browser, because on the DV Lottery application website, it does not refresh. When you click the back, it doesn't refresh everything. So it will keep the information that you have, and it might give you some problem, might give you some errors. So don't use the back arrow on your browser top. Okay, if you want to go back in the registration form, it will tell you go to page 1, go to page 2, right? You can click those options, but don't use the back arrow or the forward arrow if there's one. All right. So like I said, you go online, you start your entry. When you go to the website, you click begin entry. When you click on begin entry, it will give you the authentication page. This will be an automatically generated code that you will type in. Just type what you see. If you cannot see the numbers that have been, or the mixture of numbers and alphabet that have been put there, if you cannot see the code, you can click on the speaker icon for it to pronounce the letters for you to hear them well. And you can use the refresh, which is the 2 arrows that are hugging each other. You can click on the 2 arrows to refresh to give you another one. If what you're seeing, you type and it tells you it's incorrect, then, or invalid, then you can click on the 2 arrows on the side, that is like hugging each other, for it to refresh for you. It will give you another one until maybe you see the right that you can type that in. Then now it will open part 1 for you. So part 1, you go through the application process, and then you fill your information, and when you get to the point where it asks for your photo, then you click choose photo, and then it will go into your gallery or your photo library to bring your photo up. If you try that and it is not working, the photo is not coming up, check your phone settings, because you might have blocked any application accessing your photos. So check your photo settings. If you are experiencing problems such as failure for the system to recognize or to be able to open your phone gallery or photo library, then that might be something that you need to check and see to make sure that your settings options are not blocking the site from retrieving your photos. Okay, those of you who may be using different versions of phone, I've realized that on Samsung Samsung phones, Samsung Galaxy, when I used that, it didn't go into my photo gallery. It went into webcam, it went to photos, like your camera, and then it went to files. So if it gives you this option, that does not include your phone, the gallery, or your photo library, then you must move the photo to this location in your files so that you can retrieve it from there. All right. When your registration is done, when you submit your registration, it will give you a confirmation page. It will say submission success, and it will give you a confirmation page which contains your confirmation code. This confirmation code is starts with 2024 and then a mixture of numbers and alphabets. Please keep this information safely because this is what you will use to check to see if you have been selected in May next year. All right, May, the first Saturday of May, we'll be checking to see who has been selected and who has not been selected. So make sure that you keep this information safe. If for some reason you have already lost your confirmation page, then you will use your email address to retrieve that, as long as your email address, you didn't have a mistypo, like a mistype, or you didn't have a typo in your email address, then you'll be able to retrieve your entry in May. Please don't attempt to do it right now. It will tell you invalid confirmation number, right? If you try too early, then it's going to tell you that invalid confirmation number because they haven't even done the selection. So you cannot retrieve anything. So wait until the first Saturday of May to check to see if you have been selected. So guys, when you're done, like I said, you save this information. Please don't start making preparations for, I'm going to America, I'm selling my property, I'm doing this. It is Lotto that you have applied for. And Lotto, the winning chances, it's random. The selection is random, guys. So don't let anybody guarantee you that you're going to win. It is random selection. It doesn't matter who applies for you. It doesn't matter where the person applied the lottery for you. I've been hearing about rumors where people are saying that if you apply in a Western country, then they will use your IP address to do something. Please, that is not true. The selection is randomly, and it is based on your nationality and your country's quota, that country's quota, okay? So if you are a Ghanaian and somebody applies for you in UAE, remember on your application, your eligibility was based on Ghana. If you are a Kenyan and you are in UAE, remember during your registration, you base your eligibility on your country of birth, which is Kenya. So it doesn't matter whether you are living outside of your home country, know that they are still going to combine your entry with the people in your homeland. Okay, they are going to combine the entries of the people in your country, and then they will make the selection out of that number. All right, so it doesn't matter where you apply for it, whether you apply on your mobile phone or you apply for it on your computer, you go to the cyber cafe, it doesn't matter. The selection is random. Don't let anybody deceive you that if somebody in America applies for you, that is going to be used to determine whether you should be selected or not. Okay, guys, I've made several videos talking about this process, so you can go and watch those videos about best strategy for couples to get selected. You can watch the video about how to fill the application. If you're still struggling, guys, I've already been told that the website is misbehaving. Basically, the website is taking a long time to submit. It is taking a long time to load up. This morning I opened the website and it took several seconds before the website opened up. So don't wait until the last day, because last day things might be even worse. Okay, and when you're on the website, don't take too long. There is a section time period, right? So if you're on the website, it gives you like 30 minutes. It doesn't mean that you can leave your laptop and go and walk around and wait till 30 minutes to submit. The website can time you out. Like I said, failures and errors are bound to happen on the website on the last days. So don't wait till that time. When you're submitting your application and it tells you submission in progress, please wait Wait until it has gone through before you exit the page. Don't try to refresh the page, because refreshing the page will time you out. And then when you try to submit again, it will tell you that you have multiple entries. The good news for this year's registration is that it prevents you from doing multiple entries. So those of you who are counting on other people to apply for you, you can go and try to submit your own registration and see if theirs is already in. Okay, you can go and check and see if that person has already applied for you. But I always insist that you guys will do this registration on your own and not use anybody's don't rely on anybody to fill the application for you. If you want more stuff about Greek Lottery, guys, check out my channel. I have a lot of content here, a lot of videos and posts on Facebook to help you on this journey so that you will be successful in the end. But like I always said, as I've always said, guys, it is not guaranteed. Winning is not guaranteed. You just have to be consistent in your application. You apply every time the registration is open. All right? So, guys, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you taking your time, taking the moment to watch this video. And if you have any questions, put them down in the comment section below, and I'll come around to answer the question to the best of my ability. You don't need a lawyer to do this registration. You don't need an agent to do this registration. You can do it yourself. Just watch the tutorial video that I have on my channel. And that video, the moment you go to my channel, it is automatically playing. That is the tutorial. You can watch that and do your registration on your own without anybody's assistance. All right? So, guys, thank you so much for your time. I love you, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye.